Hey, everybody, I'm Chad Eckert, and that's Joe Idone. This here's the Preferred Lines podcast. You'll find us each and every Tuesday, but normally live on YouTube and Twitter, cracking beers. I'm cracking a beer. My beer is a Surly Furious from the state of Minnesota. Are you doing beers tonight, or what do you have?
Yeah, I'm doing beers. This is an old one that I've had in there, like an old pumpkin beer from like fall.
Oh, nice.
Just laying around,
Okay.
Still good.
Finish that off. All right, because dude, it's weird. It's Monday night. So Josh is here, even though he wishes he was watching Bachelor. So Josh is behind the scenes over there. Jish Swish, the producer of the program. We're gonna try to do this in the next 30 minutes and get through the betting board. It's Monday. We're gonna do the best we can to give you as much as we can. I mean, I crammed. I felt like it was college cramming for the finals, baby. You're doing a podcast tomorrow night then, because that's what you do. I mean, you do the Jock Market the day before the tournament starts. So we got to do that.
Weird week, right? It always feels like we have so much time, and then this week it really feels like we're all crammed in. But you can see up there in the top corner, presented by Jock Market. They have been a partner of ours for probably about a year now. Use the promo code PL for 100% match on your first deposit up to $50. So you throw $50 in there, they will match you 50. You end up with 100. You buy and sell shares of golfers live during the IPO hour, which in fact will be tomorrow night. Excuse me. So usually we host that. Rick Run Good and I will host that on Wednesday nights to cover the IPO hour, which leads into 9 p.m. Eastern. So we will do that tomorrow night. So everything's kind of bumped up a day this week for the Wednesday to Saturday Farmers Insurance Open, which we'll get to right now. So good friends at Jock Market.
Nice. Great. Okay. Again, it's tomorrow night. Joe on Rick Runs Good YouTube page. Now, gosh, what do you do though? Like, do we know enough to know to even talk tonight? Because we used to do this on Mondays, and we realized it's a little harder to do it on Mondays. You get more information, you digest a little bit, you get your thoughts together, and that's why Tuesdays has been what we've been doing. But so whatever, we'll do the best we can, and we'll take a look. Josh is going to throw up the betting board here. It shows us at the tippity tip top Jon Rahm back there again, because he's back here at Torrey Pines where he won the U.S. Open. It was just a year ago. I mean, my gosh, this dude is loving it at Torrey Pines, but it's 7-1 or so, depending on the book you're at. Are we going to have this conversation every single week about Jon Rahm?
We're probably going to talk about him, and neither of us are going to place a single bet on him all year, right?
Right.
I mean, not sub 9-1 or whatever. He's the best player in the field. He's going to rate out number one in any stat model you run. His advantage and his skill set is further accelerated at a course like Torrey Pines because of like what a good approach player he is from 175 to 200 yards, which obviously we're at 7,700 yard course when they're on the south. He's comfortable here. He's familiar here. And when he has long approach shots coming in, he separates himself there as the best in the world. Like Rahm and Lee Hodges last week could probably hit a bucket of balls each from 100 yards out, and you wouldn't be able to separate them too much. That may be crazy, but I don't think you would. Like, they both hit really good shots, but Rahm and Lee Hodges both hit a bucket of balls from 200 yards, and you would see what a ridiculously better player that Jon Rahm is. So this is where his advantage lies. This is why we see a lot of times the best players show up here and play well. So I think the number is deserving, but I'm going to once again pass on sub 10-1.
But what if we want exposure to Jon Rahm? Are you going to go buy him on Jock Market, or do you wait to see where he tees off first? Because that could be a factor. You can see if they're teeing off on the harder course first, because technically the south course is harder than the north course. So like maybe Jon Rahm starts on the south course, he has a bad round, and you can get him at a 10 or a 12 or a 16-1, because sometimes that happens. If you bet him live, it might be better.
Yeah, you could wait on a live number. If you really like him this week and you think he's going to win, and I have nothing bad to say about that, then bet the 7.5-1. I just go with a different strategy. I'd rather take the thing with if you bet 7-1, you really can't bet anyone else, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
Because if you bet 3 or 4 other guys at 7-1, you're kind of taking that down. So you're ending out of there with odds around 3 or 4-1. Is it really worth it? I'd rather take my shots elsewhere. Golf is so variant. As good, we talked about this last week, as good of a run as he has been on, when we're seeing these ridiculous low numbers, he's won once in the last year and change. So I'll take my chances.
With an asterisk on a couple of those.
Yes.
But at the same time, only one trophy in the trophy case in the last
Right.
year. So that's true, John Rahm. I mean, you got to get home to get these outrights. And are you going to go to anyone else under 20 to 1? Because you've got JT or you got Xander. Any interest in those two guys?
I wish I could bet Xander, but I once again cannot because I'm forced to look right below him and probably be a sucker and take I haven't bet either one of these, but the two guys that I'm looking at are DJ and Bryson, both at like 20 and 22 to 1.
Okay.
When those two guys are going to be below Xander Schauffele on an odds board at a course like this, I'm going to be forced to take a long, hard look at them and probably shift in that direction. What about you? Like, are we still in this perpetual state of Xander being mispriced, or is this just accurate? And I mean, how long's it been since he won? A
He won
PGA
the
Tour
gold
event.
medal.
A PGA Tour event.
Honestly, I can't even remember. Been a while, so therefore, then it's not a value there. There's no value in betting Xander Schauffele. You always have to pay a tax with Xander, and this week, especially at Torrey, since he's played it 100 times. Not interested in that. So then let's go into the 20s where Hideki's there. He's a fucking winner, double time winner already this season. So you got Bryson there, you got DJ, Berger, Burns, Finau, and Sungjae. Should we go back to Sungjae? I might.
Yeah, so I haven't made any definitive bets up here. I like Bryson a lot. I feel like this is a perfect course for Bryson. I feel like he probably should have won the U.S. Open. This is like a prototypical U.S. Open course where his length is a serious advantage. He's going to be coming in with a lot of shorter clubs. These are small greens. These are small fairways. All of this, I feel like, exacerbates his length off the tee. So it's a perfect place for him.
But I've seen the stats on Bryson around the green. Now, are those stats? Yeah. So is that something you have to consider? Because I know this week you have Patrick Reed win it last year. He's around the green guy. This is kind of an around the green, get up and down, get out, get to the next hole. That's kind of the course we're at. But then is it skewed because he hits it so far with his drives? I've seen that the numbers of around the green stats get skewed with guys like guys like Bryson. But I don't know enough to know. Does that cause you some concern about his around the green potential?
So, yes, that's obviously the deficiency of his game. But if you think about guys like Reed, for instance, and how he did it last year with amazing short game, amazing scrambling, Reed is in the bottom tier of guys in terms of distance off the tee. Last year, he had a good run, but he's not a great long iron player historically either. So when those two things aren't working in your favor, the only route for Patrick Reed to win was to have an amazing week with the short game. I think Bryson has a totally different route to his victories. He's going to be there's probably on the South course, for instance, there's probably 6 holes where he can come in with an 8 iron that other guys are hitting 5 and 6 iron. So that alone gives you enhances the size of the green. You know what I'm saying? So there's a certain square footage, but coming in with an 8 iron gives you a lot more room and margin for error than coming in with a 5 iron. So I think his advantage is well suited for this place.
Okay, well then let's look at somebody in the same range. Let's look at Tony Finau, who has amazing course history here. Is this something that we consider Tony Finau to do a top 5 here?
Yeah, the course history is incredible. Let me pull it up because I just had it here in front of me. I was just looking at it actually. So
he was runner-up last year, basically.
Yes, T2, T6, T13, T6, T4 from 2021 to 2017. So unbelievable. Another perfect ideal setup for Tony to take advantage of all of his strengths. I'm a little worried that I may have missed the early number on him, which has me a little bit hesitant. My book now is a 25, and I know that there were some 30 pluses out there this morning.
All right, Josh, let's see what we have. What are we looking at exactly right now?
The odds checker there. Let's see where you can shop Finau at.
If you go to odds checker, you can look around and you can find an article written by our boy Joe Idone. He has a nice article each week that he tells you 5 guys each week to play.
Yeah, one in each range.
So he gives you 5 names, and then they've been hitting pretty well. So find Joe's article. But on
30 to 1
odds,
is out there.
you'll find Tony's at 25, 29, 25, 25. But yeah, 25. I don't know. It's fair. It's better than Scotty Scheffler to me. I'm not going to go with this Scotty Scheffler. I'm not going to reach the Sam Burnses or the Zalatoris. I'm not going to do that here because
What about Dustin? What do you think about Dustin? Because this he doesn't play this place often.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him in forever.
Right.
But theoretically, when I think about his skill set, it should align really well. And this feels like a great number. If you think that he's going to have a good year, if he plays good out of the gates here, you're not going to see 20 plus for a long time.
I agree, but then how do we know how he'll be out of the gate? Dude, does he have historical data on how he does in his first tournament? DJ kind of feels like the guy to me that either does show up really ready or doesn't show up ready at all. And, I used to think this about the guys on tour. I used to think that they would pick and choose when they turn it up, but I don't know about that anymore. I think that the burner needs to be up from the very get-go, and on every single shot and every single tournament. You almost have to do that with the way that the competitive balance of the tour is, how they're going for so much money now, the competitiveness of the FedEx Cup points and getting on these Ryder Cup teams and what it means to your Instagram followings and all that stuff. So I used to think that people would mail it in or show up when they wanted to show up, but I don't know. I think that you gotta get it going early in the season, especially if you're a guy that's not so solid.
Yeah, I don't know off top. I mean, there's obviously is if you look into it, historical data on how he starts off the season. I know that he's obviously won Tournament of Champions before. He's won at Riviera, which is coming up, which is in the fall. He won the like Winter Masters or whatever, if we call it technically the winter season.
In November, yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of unknown there, right?
No, I'd buy the number.
The guy that has been with his coach and on the range every day for the last couple of weeks. Yeah. No, he doesn't strike you as that guy, but he's also the type of guy that could easily turn it on, and this place could really, I think, suit his eye. Like anytime U.S. Open long straight, it just seems like a good place for me. He's putted well on POA before as well.
I'd see it where either he starts really hot and he's like first round leader bet maybe potential, or he goes super slow and then you pick him up after the first round at like a 40 to 1, and then maybe you do something like that. I don't know.
Think about like when we didn't see Tournament of Champions, for instance. I know it was weird. It was a different field, but we hadn't seen Cam Smith in forever. We didn't really see Patrick Cantlay in a long time, and like we were worried about them, and they both came out and played incredibly well. We hadn't seen John Rahm basically all fall since the Ryder Cup. He played really well out of the gates. So
that's what I'm saying, dude. I used to think thoughts, and now I don't know. I think you're not showing up like trying to find it. I don't think.
No. He's always got it. It's just, is it clicking on all cylinders that day?
Okay, so then there's some juicy names that are a longer list. Give me that list again, Just Swish. We're on YouTube. You please like and subscribe, rate and review. Buy some Manscaped products and go to Jock Market. And you'll look at the odds checkerboard and see Jordan Spieth's at 40 to 1. You got Corey Connors at 50 to 1. If you scroll down, you even have the defending champion here in the 50s. You got Taylor Gooch. You got your guy Wolf. Are we going back to Wolf, or what are we worried about Wolf a little bit?
Yeah, a little worried about Wolf. I think I might have, pumped the gas a little too hard there. But this is a much better spot for him. But no, I just don't know if he's ready to show up here and win. I bet Brooks.
Okay.
I mean, I know he pushed by him, but at 40 to 1 this morning, I don't know if that number's still around. Looks like 36 on FanDuel is the best available currently.
Yeah, I was going to just push past Brooks. It's an obvious bet, right, for you? Honestly, at this number, at this venue.
It has to be.
Now, there are spots where you ignore, and you've done it. You've done a great job of telling me not to bet it, but I've not taken your advice. But Brooks has spots, and Brooks has times. Now, Brooks also has been known to need a week. So is that old news? Is that a different narrative that doesn't apply anymore?
Yeah, I think the bigger narrative, I don't know. It just has to be an event that there's enough at stake for him.
Okay.
And I think this is one of the stops that I would put in that basket that aren't a major championship.
Okay.
Should be a good course for him. I know his course history kind of sucks. He did play really well at the U.S. Open, which is you're not going to see if you're looking at course history here. And I thought that he was in there right up down the stretch. I thought that he could have won the U.S. Open had it not been for a bad hole on the back nine. But you could have said that about 5 or 6
Or his
guys in
back
the
wasn't
U.S. Open.
broken. I mean, he was stretching his back out too, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, I don't think this was the back one, was it?
Oh, I don't remember.
No, this was right before he injured. I don't know. He's been dealing with a lot of shit.
I mean, he was. I don't remember.
Anyways, coming in with long irons, same thing. I feel like that's a spot where he can separate when he can hit that 3, 4, 5 iron. He's as good as anybody. He's putted well on POA before also. Like the thing that I've heard that kind of like I heard Snedeker say this and someone else about putting on POA, and you can kind of loop Tiger into this as well. There's different types of putters, and you can just watch them and understand which kind of type they are. There's guys who are very aggressive with putts, and there's guys who will kind of diet at the hole and occasionally leave them short, and they play their putts differently. Obviously, the guys that are a little softer with it have to play much more break. Versus Brooks is like hammer it in the hole, much like Snedeker. So he'll get up there and he'll put a confident stroke on it, which I think helps a lot on this type of grass.
Okay.
So,
I like that.
All that said, I bet him. I think this is a great number on him at a course that he should play well. And you're only getting the number because the stats don't look great. The course history isn't great. But I think that he's talented enough to kind of overcome that.
Okay, cool. I'm on the fence because I can only find the 33 where I live, and so
yeah,
it's not like that enticing. Like I could by tomorrow night, because we don't have much time to think about it. So by tomorrow night, I might have to do it. But I don't know. I might go more long shots this week. I'm not gonna bet Reed. Pull up the betting board again, and I do think though at like 50 or 60 or whatever you can get on Taylor Gooch, that could be some value based on his performance last week. Kind of burned some people. He's played like one of the best players on earth over the last 3 months. Taylor Gooch.
Yeah, he's been good. He was really shitty last week, though, wasn't he?
Like for most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, he missed the cut, I thought, last week. Yeah, but a lot of guys did. So we can kind of write that off. I think he has good course history. He lined up really well in the stat model that I ran. So I can see going back there. Spieth is intriguing to me.
Okay.
I don't know why. It just feels like a juicy number on him that we would have been really excited about with the way he was playing last season. Yeah. But the way things have been the last couple of months, it leaves you a little leery. Like him sitting below Leishman is a little weird.
Yeah.
So I don't
tied in with Corey Connors. It's Jordan freaking Spieth.
Yeah, and last year, like I took Reed, and that came out of nowhere. So it was just kind of taking what I thought was a good player at a good number, and that's all it came down to. And like nobody was on Reed last year because the stats were so horrible. That's why I don't mind taking one of these top tier. But look, so many of the courses recently. Look at the fall, right, and look at what we just got. The Amex, the Tournament of Champions, which played really short. Sony, like we were playing short golf courses, short Bermuda, coastal. Like this is a lot different test at 7,700 yards than what we've seen. So when you're looking in your stat models for the last 24 or 36 rounds, if these guys have played a lot recently, they haven't played any courses like Torrey Pines.
Right. Totally.
Right.
Agreed. Oh, yeah. So then, therefore, are we going to bet a long shot this week? I mean, it's kind of weird to think that a long shot could win here.
I don't know that there's a couple of guys that I like. I don't know that they can or it's great. Like, even when you look when Snedeker won, I think he was 20-1. When Rose won, he was playing pretty well at the time. Reed last year was only in the 30s. So even these guys that kind of come out of nowhere and you look back and see them winning, it kind of like shocks you. They were playing pretty good at the time. So it wasn't like they were long shots. It wasn't like Snedeker won this thing at 100-1.
Right. Okay. Well,
I don't know. I got two. Who do you got? Give me your guys first. And then
I wanted to tell you, like, there is reason to look at a longer number. I mean, you got Ryan Palmer potentially. You could pop that up. Just look at Ryan Palmer's number. I don't know what that is, 66-1. You got a Max Homma. You can get that potentially at 60, 75, 80-1. Justin Rose, like you mentioned, over the last 5 years, he's like the most strokes gained, one of the most strokes gained here. He's great. Horschel, winner winner in a fall swing event. I wanted to mention Billy Horschel. You can get him at 80 to 1. He won a fall swing event on the DP Tour. Molinari, Mr. California, right there at 80 to 1. I mean, you got Neiman potentially. He's got talent enough to win. What about Keegan, who does well here and pops every once in a while? Can find the putter. I mean, there's List, there's Wise.
I took two of the guys that you mentioned.
Okay,
I took
I got
Rose.
Oh, you got Rose?
I took Rose, who I really never bet, but played really well Sunday, had some spots last week, and this is a great course for him. And the other one that you just mentioned was Keegan.
Yeah.
Great course history here, man. Good ball striking. Like this course, it was a little shaky through the fall, but this is the type of course that I think he excels at. When you look at the longer proximity ranges, I put a couple in the bucket here. And I know, Josh will say that this is kind of a faulty stat, but I'd be interested to know where he falls and sort of his spectrum. But 175 to 200, 12th. 150 to 175, 14th. And then 200 plus, he was 48th. So pretty good in the top, half or third of the field in all three of those. 6th in ball striking overall. So I like him at a place like this. I got an 80 to 1, I believe.
On Keegan. Keegan. He was in the winning lineup I had in the quarter arcade at the Farmers Insurance Open in 2019. So yeah, I got some love for Keegan especially here. I got some love for Billy Horschel, of course, for 66 to 1. That's a guy with my heart. As much as with the stats, and also PGA Splits 101, that our guy with the trends, he fit the list of trends. So go find our guy with PGA Splits 101's trend list. I like Homma actually at 80 to 1 if you can find it or whatever. Max Homma has won twice in California. We know Max Homma can get up for big stages now. He's got the mentality to be a winner, to be somebody in the conversation for those teams at the end of the season. Those things are important. What about the Cams? You got Cam Tringali and Cam Davis, and they're in the 80s-ish for Cameron Davis. Could he break out here and win a big trophy? Do it at like 80 to 1?
This might be a good spot for him. I hadn't really considered it. There's Cameron Champ as well, who's back.
Yeah, I forgot about Cameron
Long. Take advantage. Yeah, what about what Paul said here? You got any takes on Mito?
I was listening to Rick Run Good, your guys' thing, and we haven't seen him. So I'm a little bit concerned that we haven't seen him, but maybe that's a sneaky way to get him at a number because we know he's a winner. We know he's a good golfer. And does he like this kind of setup? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Let me see if I can pull him up here.
The reason I just tend to go with a more of a veteran name at Torrey Pines. Even if fucking Xander Schauffele, who played 100 rounds in high school, sucks here. For years, like you need experience around there. You got to have a little bit of distance. You get a little bit of a luck. So I don't know. Mito might get discouraged. It depends. I don't know.
He rated out incredibly well in the model that I ran.
Oh shit! Okay.
Paul. Yeah. But I don't know how much of that is pulling old stuff from Korn Ferry numbers or the ridiculous run that he was on there through the late summer. But yeah, the numbers on him are fantastic. If you're looking at any stat model, I think there's like 100 pluses out there on Mito.
I got one more name.
Yeah.
But everybody's on him, I guess, because he's already been bet down from 100 to 66. That's Francesco Molinari.
Let's talk about him.
I almost brought a glass of wine out for this segment.
Is he going to be the house bet?
No. Well, I did joke with Cecil on Twitter about how I put $10 on that 100 to 1. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to win $1,000 if Molinari wins the tournament. So that's true. That's not the house bet. But at the same time, dude loves California. Don't we know? Is California wine country? We just know he moved there for this shit. Somebody that reminds me truly of the Jason Day mold, the Justin Rose mold, where they never go bad. They're just always good. And they get recycled. They go into hibernation and they come out and they're good. And it's like you can find them at 100 to 1. I mean, this guy can feast on the par fours. I'm into what is his name? Molinari. Let's go.
Yeah, gained pretty much everywhere. I'm looking at last week at the Amex. Tee to green, off the tee approach, around the green putting. Clean sweep of green when you're looking at Fantasy National. So
he could be this 2022's version of what Louis was last year. Think about that.
Top 10 here last year.
He got Mr. California, Molly in California.
Plus, top 10 at the Amex, top 10 at the Genesis, and then he played terrible the rest of the year.
Because you mentioned this, though, did he get burned? I mean, he kind of got burned, but by the Ryder Cup snub, and so he's a little bit motivated.
I don't know if that was really a snub, was it?
No, probably not.
Yeah, he was playing so bad that I don't think it could be deemed quite a snub. But yeah, there were certainly 2 years ago you would have been shocked to say that he was not going to be on the team.
Okay, yeah. So give me Molinari and give me get this. What do you think of this idea? Okay, declaring February 13th National Shave Your Balls Day.
Why February 3rd? Oh, all right.
The day before Valentine's is coming up, boys and girls. Well, boys. And who's with me? Let's call this the national holiday for men and women who can get behind. Ladies, you may want to buy your man something to like a crop preserver for, which is a ball deodorant. I can't believe that Manscaped's the first company to come out with this kind of a thing. I mean, this seems like an obvious thing for your balls. They're sweaty, they're smelly, and nobody wants those smelly, sweaty balls. So you want to have this crop preserver. So you got to use this promo code we got going. It's gonna run out, and you're never gonna be able to get 20% off with the promo code Golf Guys. We need you to use this code to get the ball deodorant, or there is a crop reviver. Okay, so once you're done shaving it up, getting it nice and close, you slap on this jelly lotion. I've done it. Have you guys done it? Or you guys got this stuff in the mail, right?
I don't think I got the reviver.
He's nodding along. Because Josh, you've been playing golf with this stuff before. You've played golf with the crop preserver.
I have, yeah. It's a anti-chafe situation.
This shit works. Go ahead.
If you do a lot of walking on the golf course, it's great. It's great.
Oh, boys, this is great. Okay, so you can go there to manscaped.com and you can get 20% off and free shipping using the promo code GolfGuys20, which is the show that Josh and I are doing right after this. It's almost on right now. So that's the end of the program. But I did want to mention that the house bet, Joe.
Yes. Reveal.
Okay, here's the thing is that last year I wanted to do house bets on different people and kind of have a potpourri and just pick guys I liked. And I wasn't really that focused on who do I really think's might going to win? Who's a good number? All this stuff. Sungjae Im. Right now, back on Im, another house bet on him. I'm going all Im this week. Why not go back, Joe? Dude,
are people saying the house bet is cursed?
No, did you like that tweet? Did you like that poll? I was shocked that I only got 2% for me. But
the house bet can't be cursed. The house bet's up like 1 million units since you started the house bet.
All right. The house now, though, it could be doing way better if Sungjae Im comes through for us. We've invested a little money this season on Sungjae, so we're kind of just going, okay, if we but this happened to me last year at this tournament. I picked Patrick Reed the week before, and then I didn't go back because I was burned and I was sick and I was sad. I saw this Sungjae tee to green game last week. One of the best in the whole field. One of his best rounds of his career, or tournaments of his career on, they only do 2 rounds. I don't know, but whatever. He's just striking it well. Back to same old Sungjae. We're going to do it. I think it's 28.
Playing very well. Solid number. Good course for him. Love it.
So let's do it. All right. And that's it for the Farmers Insurance Open. Thanks for watching.
Good luck, guys. Peace.
Cheers.